Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I'm so excited to have our ihelpmoms.com sex therapist and the founder of Infinite Intimacy, Rachel Smith, here with us today. Every Tuesday, we are coming at you with amazing tips and strategies to create amazing connection with your spouse, your partner, in your relationships after having kids. And we talk about the subjects that you actually email us at info@ihelpmoms.com. And today's question that we're addressing was from one of our viewers last week. And this viewer asked us, what is the normal amount of sex couples should be having after having kids? So drum roll, let's turn it over to our therapist.
There is no normal. I know it's difficult to absorb, but the reality is there is no right or wrong number of times that you should be having sex with your spouse, with your partner. People think, should I be having sex every day, once a week, twice a week, at least once a month? Is that enough? It really just depends on the preferences of both you and your partner and what you work out as a form of a compromise.
And one of the favorite things that I've learned from Rachel and from being more educated, from your perspective, this is why ihelpmoms.com always goes to experts, because you've helped hundreds of thousands of people instead of just one mom that gives their opinion, right? So I want you to explain to us, what is the difference between sex and intimacy, and why are both important?
So, we kind of lump the two together. We think sex and intimacy are the same things, but intimacy is way more than sex, and sex is more than just intercourse. We have this idea, this one way sex is intercourse and that's it. But if we're able to kind of take a step back and widen our perspective a little bit and think of intimacy as a point of connection between you and your partner, you and the one that you love, then it helps you to kind of see that there's moments in your day where intimacy can happen. Whether it's a quick text message to say, hey, thinking of you, I love you, right? That's a point of connection. Maybe it's a little whisper in the ear, a kiss on the neck, or a little tap on the bum. It's just really letting your partner know that you're here in the midst of all the craziness that's going on.
And I love this, because I think the insight that you give us is what leads to true connection, which is what everyone is really looking for, right?
Exactly, but it takes work.
I love that. It does take work. So if you did not watch our episode from last week, make sure you check it out. We have it on YouTube. We have it on iHelpMoms Facebook page. Make sure you check it out, because one of the staples of a great relationship that you talked about is daily check-ins. A quick check-in with your spouse every single day. So what I wanted to ask you in this next part is, how do we open up that conversation that for many can seem daunting or possibly uncomfortable? And especially as moms, we do a lot in life. So when we open up the sex conversations, it can be a little bit treacherous, because we're like, oh, is it one more thing I'm going to put on my list, right? So I want you to talk to us about, what would that open conversation look like about both partners' expectations regarding sex?
So during those daily check-ins, if you're carving out that 5 to 10 minutes each day of just sitting with your partner and checking on how they're doing, you can incorporate these conversations of intimacy, right? You can express, oh, I haven't felt, and then it's really shifting the language of, maybe because intimacy has, all these other things attached to it, and the expectation of sex, and, we have to go to bed and all of that, right? So if we shift the language from intimacy to connection, then it might be a little bit easier to say, I feel like we didn't have a chance to connect this week. Is there any time in this weekend or in the next week where we can carve out a little bit more time for us to really connect and have a good time with each other?
And I think one of the important things that you can say, though, is that sex and intimacy absolutely matters in relationships. Is that something you would agree with as a therapist?
It makes a significant difference, because if we're so, our kids are great and wonderful, and we love to watch them grow, and we have to be involved in making sure that we're guiding them and protecting them and making sure that everything is good, right? But if we forget that we were a partner first,
Yeah.
you know, and make the kids a priority more so than our relationship a priority, then that's where the point of disconnect happens.
Yeah.
So once we're able to reestablish connection as a part of our daily routine, then it makes it that much easier to open up these conversations.
Absolutely.
You know? And then you can get into your likes, your dislikes, you know, I really like when you do this, or that doesn't really do it for me. Can we try something else? You know?
I love that. I think that's such a healthy way to communicate that's easy and comfortable for both partners. I love that. So one of the things and strategies that you talked about as well was maintenance sex. And this is something that I don't think a lot of couples really think about, but it can be a huge key to success in, again, connecting with your spouse and making sure that both parties are fulfilled in this relationship. So tell us why maintenance sex is a great strategy.
Yeah, well, I think the term maintenance sex can kind of have a negative connotation because we think that it's just another thing that we have to add to our to-do, you know, and he doesn't understand or she doesn't understand all the things that I'm doing, and now I have to have sex because you want to, you know, but it's, again, maintaining the relationship and maintaining the intimacy in your relationship. So it doesn't have to be a separate time if you are carving intimacy into your schedule and having those weekly date nights. It can be a part of your date night, you know, and it's an idea of, okay, even if I'm not necessarily in the mood, I'm still going to open myself, just try to have a good time, shifting that perspective of, I have to have sex with my spouse, right? To, all right, I can just have a good time and just open myself up and see where it goes, rather than this is another thing on my to-do list.
I love that. And so in closing today's show, we want to invite you, if you and your partner have any questions, reach out to Rachel. She is the founder of Infinite Intimacy. She's a licensed sex therapist and an amazing resource in our ihelpmoms.com network. And in saying that, we want to make sure that you also check out our last show, because one of the keys that you talked about was gratitude. And gratitude and being thankful for your partner and seeing the positives in them, possibly without expecting that in return, can be the catalyst for your relationship reaching huge heights and happiness that many couples after having kids are seeking. So we invite you to connect with Rachel. Make sure you email us your questions at info@ihelpmoms.com, #asking for a friend. We get it. You'll always be anonymous. And most of all, we are here to make motherhood easier, healthier, and happier. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.